Okay, this is how to operate Teams. Okay, first thing you need to do is go to your Teams page. On your Teams, you click, by the time you check on the third, this is the first item on the left. First item on the left is here, second one is here, and the third one is here. So that's why we have Teams. So you click on it, you see all your teams. There are some teams are here right now. Okay, so you click on the one particular one I'm clicking here right now is demo teams. Okay, so let's move on. So you click on the demo teams or whichever one you want to use. So once you are in your demo teams, you want to start a meeting, initiate a meeting. To initiate a meeting, you have to click on this video tab here at the bottom here. So once you click here, it will take you to the next stage. Good. So once you are here, the first thing you need to do is to switch off your camera. Okay, switch off your camera because you don't want to appear to the children or whoever you are having a meeting with unprepared. So switch off your camera, then you click on Meet Now. But before you click on Meet Now, you might want to add, can you see top here where they say add subject? So you might want to add a subject. So for this particular class, it's a quantitative class. Okay, so if it's quantitative reasoning class, you say type in quantitative reasoning dash the topic or colon the topic. If it's home economics, you write home economics colon baking, whatever the topic is, you do that. Don't forget that you have to switch off your camera first. Okay, then you now go ahead and say Meet Now. So once you meet now, take to the next phase. So you can see here that my title is already showing, quantitative reasoning magic squares is already showing. If you don't do this, the children will not be able to refer to the video by the time you're done, and those who missed the lesson will not be able to identify your video recording from other classes. So by doing this, you can actually create a record of the subject and the topic. So then you can go ahead and say Meet Now at this point. So now once you are in, it will bring you here to invite people, okay? But once people are aware of the meeting, you don't necessarily have to invite, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to understand how all of these here work. How do these work, okay? So do not touch any unless you understand what each of them do. So the first thing you need to understand is, let's look at it. Let's say you want to know, you want to change your background, for instance. Okay, if you want to change your background, you click on, let's say, okay, you click on these three dots here to change your background. Okay, let's assume you are at home and you don't have the appropriate background. Okay, or you are in a situation where you cannot use your background to conduct the lesson. Personally, I like using computerized, that is a digital background, okay, because I don't necessarily have to show my home in the lesson. So come here, click on these three dots here, okay, the three ellipses. Then you can now choose show background effects. Show background effects. Can you see show background effects? Click on show background effects. Then you move on. So it brings you here, okay. It brings you here where it shows you different kind of background effects by the left here, background settings here. You can choose any one you want. You can see that the one that is actually showing here, the one that is showing here is actually one that I have chosen at this point. Okay, so then you click on apply. Okay, but if you want to change it, you can still go ahead and change it. Okay, sometimes it will bring apply and change video, whichever one that is appropriate. Okay, but just click on apply. You don't necessarily have to preview. It's always okay. I find that the first one is always better than this second one, but this second one is what we are going to use for this particular class. Okay, you can go ahead and close your background settings if you are satisfied. So now what do? I want to show the children my slides. So that's when you click on this particular tab. This here means share. It means what? Share. So what happens? Good. It brings you here. Now, when it brings you here, this here is a confusing phase for so many. Now, if you come here, PowerPoint, here that says PowerPoint, all your PowerPoint applications that is synced on OneDrive will appear here. Okay, the last one first, then goes down to the earliest one. So this is the last document I worked on, Magic Squares, so it's bringing it out. And if it doesn't show this, you probably need to use browse. If you don't see your application under PowerPoint, you probably need to use browse. That's when you will now browse to the part on your laptop that you saved the PowerPoint. Okay, but if your PowerPoint is already synced to OneDrive, it shows easily here on PowerPoint. Okay, but if it doesn't show, that means it's not sync on OneDrive. You probably use browse and search for it on your laptop. So let's move on. Good. Now we have my slide showing Magic Squares. You look at these two dismisses here, okay, two dismiss notifications here. What does it say? You are recording, let everyone know that you are being recorded. How do I record my lesson? You click on these three ellipses here. Once you click on these three ellipses here, to give you an option, you will see a red dot that says start recording. You probably need to click on that to start recording your class. So that's what is showing here. You are recording, let everyone know they are being recorded. So you do that. Then the other one is private viewing disabled. What does private viewing disable mean? How do you disable private viewing of your slide? If you don't want the children to start going back and forth on your presentation by themselves, you need to come here and make sure that this I is crossed. If the I is not crossed, okay, that means the children can move around the presentation slide without your consent. And though it will not affect what you are doing, but they can move around without your consent, and that's not allowed. You want them to move at your own pace. So that's why you need to disable private viewing here by making sure you click on here and the cross is on the I. Let's move on. So now that is done. Okay, good. So we are all set. So your Magic Squares is already, you're ready to go to present to the children. So you can see that this here shows slide 1 of 7. You can press this arrow to go forward or press this arrow to go backward, depending on what you want to do. So here, one of these tabs here, this show participant, is going to show you who is in your meeting. Let's see what it shows us in the next slide. So it's showing here that currently in the meeting is one person, and the organizer, because this is a demo meeting, I'm the only one here yet. Okay, so we'll move on. That's how to use this tab here. It shows participants. So the next one is show conversation. Show conversation here enables you to chat with your learners throughout the course of the presentation. I particularly like to leave this turned on during the class so I can see what the children are talking about. If I ask a question, because I don't necessarily want them to turn on their microphones, if I ask a question, I want to see their responses. So I always leave this on. You have to mute the whole class for the presentation, okay? Good. So mute the whole class for presentation. Probably you'll find that in these three ellipses here, but you have to leave this one on so that you can see what they are talking about. Now here is the meeting chart. Everywhere here will be filled with the children's responses, but because there is no response in this particular presentation, there's nothing here, but I can still type in there if I want to reply to someone's questions or comments. So now here I've said hello Mrs. Fabiuesa, so that's what I have typed in here and I sent. So now let's move on here. So now I want to when you press on this again, it actually stops your presentation while the presentation is going on. So once you don't want to stop the presentation, click on it once your presentation shows, you'll leave it. Okay, so let's move on and see what's up again for the next slide. Okay, you can actually navigate to the second part of the slide. You can see that what I have here now is different from what I have on this slide now is different from what I had on the slide previously. Let's move on. Okay, then if you want to end the meeting, okay, if you want to end the meeting, this is where you end the meeting. So end meeting. You don't necessarily have to stop recording before you end the meeting. Okay, you want your recording to capture everything, so you can just click. Don't ever use this red button here to end the meeting. If you use this, the children will still be in the meeting and they will keep talking and communicating in your absence. So to end the meeting, use this. Use what? This is what you use to end the meeting. You end it and everyone is taken out effectively from the meeting. And it asks you to confirm, and you confirm by pressing end, and that will be the end. I hope you understand everything that I've said so far. Okay, if you have any questions, you can